Okay, here we have the laser cutter. So we should have watched the videos on Lightburn. And we have got it's hard to see, but we have got a file in there. The first thing to check is to make sure the compressor is on, which should be a little red lever down there. There are labels on there. The main switch is over on the other side, so we just flick that on. That will fire up. So we should, before we send our file, we should get our laser cutter set up. So I'm just going to open the lid, just do that gently, and there's our control panel. We do have the instructions up here. So the first thing we want to do is move our laser cutter out of the road. So what we can do is we can click on home. Here we are, home there, and that will move the laser head to the very top left-hand corner. The other thing we probably should do before we get started is drop the bed. So I'm just going to use that down arrow, and that is dropping the bed a bit lower. That way we can safely put our material in. Okay, and we know we're not going to touch that the head there, the blue part. Okay, we don't want to knock that at all. From there, we'll just move using the arrows, we'll move the laser head over our piece of material, and then from there we're actually going to set autofocus. So to do autofocus, we just go enter, menu, and that actually comes up onto autofocus, and we'll just go enter, and that will set the machine or the material to the correct height. Now you will notice that red dot, when I talk about the green dot with the origin, the green dot on Lightburn is the red light, which is a little bit hard to see on this video, the red light on our material there. So we need to set the origin next. So we need to use the arrow keys, know the height's right, and move that to the correct location. Okay, now I have my origin on my Lightburn file, the top left, so I want my red light to be top left. Okay, so now we just select origin, and that sets the origin for that particular project. So that's all set up now. Okay, so we've got the correct height, the autofocus, we've got our origin. The next thing we do, we select frame. That should have been in the Lightburn files, but I can select frame just to show you how that works. And you can see where that piece is going, so that fits on my material, that's all fine. And now I can just send that across, the file across. Like I said, don't worry about renaming it, just go OK. And now we should have that same file on here. So to do that, we select File. And it should be the top one, so you can see that's popped up there. I can press Enter. And just to make sure, I'm going to select Frame again. Okay, and that's all good. And then from there, I just select Start. Okay. Now, once we've done that, I'm going to press Start, but once we've done that, we should notice that that light there, it will go red when it's actually cutting. So you'll close the lid before you press Start. That part. So make the lid's shut, and when we press Start, that will go red. Once it's finished, it will go green, and these lights here, their assist control, will be green while it's going, and you need to wait until they are off before we open the lid. So you can see that's green, they're off, we can open the lid. All we need to do now is press home on here, that moves our laser head to the very top left-hand side. We can now slide the material out away from that laser head and then pick it up. The other thing we need to make sure we do is we need to move all loose pieces away from here. So the next project, next person that comes along, the project will be sitting flat, and then we can take that piece. All we do then, shut the lid gently and turn the machine off from the switch here.